What's up, everyone? So I'm gonna jump right into it. I ain't gonna waste no time with this one. So the other card, part two, Japanese and Thai. Honestly, the whole 10 years that I've been locked up, I only met two Japanese and one full-blooded Thai. Sometimes I meet other Asian homies that mix with Thai, but that's about it. So Japanese and Thai, they're the least Asian that you will come across in California prison. And it's almost like they're not there. The next one is Chinese. We know that us Asians know that Chinese are the biggest Asian population in the US. But believe it or not, there's not too many Chinese in California prison. When you still come across them, but there's not a lot of them. I met one Chinese homie from I didn't met one Chinese homie, but I met a Chinese homie from LA. He was a tall Chinese homie and hella funny and hella goofy. And I ain't gonna lie, doing time that dude was funny because he always kept me laughing. And that's a good thing in prison. And he didn't gangbang, but he had homies that did. But that was a cool ass Chinese homie right there. Like I say, tall but hella goofy. The next one is Vietnamese. There's actually a lot of Vietnamese. In my experience, I met a lot of Vietnamese homie. And I swear that I like every prison I went to, there was a lot of Vietnamese. And they are some hustlers. They know how to get money. When it comes to that, they don't play. They know how to get money. And I met a lot of Chinese. I met a lot of Vietnamese homies from Orange County, LA, Sacramento, Stockton, San Jose. Orange County actually got a big Vietnamese population. There's like a lot of Vietnamese out there. And back to San Jose, there's a lot of Vietnamese in San Jose too. And a lot of Vietnamese in San Jose had never met Hmong people before. So that was a experience for me because I was in Folsom and I met a lot of Vietnamese from San Jose. And someone they would tell me like, damn, I never met a Hmong person before. But goddamn, there's a lot of y'all in here though. You know what I mean? It's like, so it was hella funny because first he never met a Hmong person before, and second of all, he never expected me that many Hmong person at one time at one place. So that was pretty funny. That was a pretty funny experience. There was also a cool ass Vietnamese homie that I met from San Jose, and I forgot the homie's name. I really mad at myself for forgetting the homie's name. I even lost his contact. But this Vietnamese homie was very cool. We was on the same tier, and we always go to child together, and always hang out together in the yard. And we would hang out together so much that one of the Hmong homies thought he was Hmong, and he was speaking Hmong to him. And the Vietnamese homie's like, I'm not Hmong. He didn't say in a disrespectful way. It's just something that would happen. It's something that happened a lot in us Asian in prison. And so anyway, the Vietnamese homie's like, I'm not Hmong. I don't speak Hmong. So, but this is the cool ass Vietnamese home for San Jose. There was another cool Vietnamese home that I met for San Jose too. We was actually in Wasco together, and we was waiting to be shipped out to outer state. He was going to Mississippi, and I was going to Arizona, and we were sitting together. And while we were sitting together, we got pretty close. And while we was waiting to get shipped out, we didn't have nothing. The whole time we was in there, we was bored out of motherfucking mind. So we ain't got nothing but time to talk and get to know each other. So while we was doing that, we got close. And oh man, that was a cool ass Vietnamese homie from San Jose. There was another Vietnamese homie that I still keep a contact with to this day. He's actually from Sacramento like me. And we was actually in juvenile hall together. And when we came to prison, we saw each other again. So it made sense for us to get to know each other. To get to know each other again. So I still keep a contact with him, and like I say, man, good ass homie. And like I say, these Vietnamese cat, they know how to get money. The next one is Cambodians. They also go by Khmer. If those people don't know, they also go by Khmer too. And they some cool homies too. And I met a lot of Cambodian homies from Long Beach. Long Beach and Stockton got a huge population of Cambodians. I met a lot of them from Sacramento, Fresno. Shit, I'm trying to think where else did I meet the Cambodian cats at. Modesto. But yes, there's a lot of Cambodians in prison. You will come across them a lot. And one thing I learned about the Cambodian homie is that he taught me this, that when you meet a dark skinned Cambodian, he's usually close to being Cambodian. Like he's more very close to his Cambodian roots. When you meet a light skinned Cambodians, he's usually mixed. You know me? And he's like mixed with like Thai or Vietnamese or Chinese. He's still Cambodian. You know, he still has like Cambodian in his blood. He just that he's a little bit mixed. That's all. You know, and I learned that for the Cambodian homie, and there was a Cambodian homie that I got pretty close to too, and he was from San Jose. And shout out to John who's doing live. He's from San Jose. We were silly, and when we were silly and go to school together, and still saw each other in the cell. So we saw each other constantly. But the thing was that we got along so well that didn't even matter. That's how you know you really click with somebody when you see each other at school, go to cell, still see each other, go to yard, still see each other. You know me, and y'all still tight as fuck. You know me. That's how you know. That's how you know that you guys are you and the homies are tight like that. But anyway, this Cambodian homie, he would teach me a few things. He would teach me how to say say like Sadai or Kamal. If you know what that mean, you know what that mean. You know, and this is cool as Cambodian homie. You know me, and I even when I came home, I was finally got his. Took me a while, but I finally found out where he was at because when he was locked up. No matter of fact, one of the homie got his contact and shot it. One of the homies in the pen got his contact and shot it and shoot it to me. So I got in contact with this Cambodian homie, like I think it was like last year, maybe 2 years ago. Look out the Cambodian homie, and to this day I still keep a contact with this Cambodian homie. I mean, so they good folks, they good people. The next one is Laos. So Laos people, how do I say what it is? There's not a lot of them, but at the same time, they all there too. You will meet them. You know me, you will meet them. And I met a lot of Laos from Sacramento, LA, Stockton. You know me? I actually met majority in Sacramento. So I actually met one homie. He was half Hmong, half Laos, but he was a TRG gang. He was in TRG, and this homie was he was also in Old Folsom with us. He was when he came to Folsom, and because I talked to him a lot, he was like, "Damn, you know me? Honestly, I never been around this many Hmong people before." You know me? Because he said most of my homies in Cambodian and Laos, because I'm from the TRG gang, and he said most of my Cambodian and Laos, so I'm not used to be around this many Hmong people. And he said it was like, I don't know, it was like an experience for him. So this homie who's half Hmong, half Laos was surrounded by so many Hmong people that he decided to get a Hmong tattoo on him. I think he got a tattoo on his back. He got an HMOOB tattoo on his back, you know, because he just feel so good around his own people. And he knows speak Hmong too. He wasn't fluent, but he knew like most of it, and he understood it too. You know what I mean? And that was a good homie right there. That was a good homie right there too. And that homie was I had like a tail too, and he actually didn't look Hmong. I think because he was half Laos, and he looked actually more Laos than Hmong. He was light skinned, but he didn't. You can tell that he could tell he was like, he could tell that he was mixed though. You know what I mean? But that was cool. That's homie right there. And like I said, it's not a lot of Laos people, but you still come across them. The next one is Filipinos. So to those who don't know, we're also called Filipino body. That's what they want to be called. You know, and body me friend or brother. So a lot of time when we see a Filipino, we'll be like, "What's up, body? Hey, what's up, body?" And I mean, and there's a lot of Filipinos that I met from LA, San Diego, Stockton. Actually, a lot of them in Stockton, Sacramento. I mean, but I met a lot of them in San Diego though. I met a lot of body from San Diego, and there's actually a lot of them in prison. There was one body that I got pretty close to, and he was from San Diego. He was an older body cat. He was probably like, at that time he was in his 30s. He's probably in 40s now, and we got pretty close. And we was like always like walk around the track together and work out together. And I lost the homie contact. I'm ready to mad myself, but I've been losing some of this homie contact, and I lost this homie contact, and he was a cool as body homie. You know me? He was one of those homie that didn't flex. You know me? he didn't feel like, even though he was working out, he never trying to flex, you know what I mean? Never trying to flex, trying to get, didn't really like trying to act all tough, you know what I mean? Because he, like, you know, he just one of those homies that were just like, they were just real, just laid back, you know what I mean? Just laid back, easy to get along with. You know what I mean? And that was a cool ass body, homie, for San Diego. I don't know, man. So, but yeah, they some that's a cool homie. And I mean, to those who don't know, that's what we call Filipino body. And I know that when I came home and I'll meet some Filipino, and I be want to call that body because I'm so used to call the Filipino body. And I'll be like, and sometimes you do, even when I work with a Filipino, I get close to him like, hey man, is it cool I call you body? He said, yeah, you call me body. So I be calling them body if I get close enough to them. You know me, but that's the term that we often call the Filipino homie in prison, body. And know me, so shout out to all my bodies. You know, so they some cool cats, you know me, and they also go by how should I say? They also go by Islanders, Asian. So it's like both. They could pretty much go by both Asian and Islanders. And I actually learned this from a Filipino homie that when you meet a Filipino homie and he look like Mexican, that's because he has Spain mixed with him. You know what I mean? And that's why he look Mexican. If you meet a Filipino homie that look Asian, that's because he's more closer to his Filipino roots. That's because he have more Filipino than Spain. So remember this: if you meet a Filipino that look Mexican, that's because he have more Spain than Filipino. If you meet a Filipino that's look Asian, it's because he have more Filipino than Spain. That's what the Filipino homies told me. So I don't want, you know, that's what the body homie told me. You know, this and I actually learned from the older body day homie. This actually was born in the Philippines. They told me about this. So like I say, there's a lot of them in prison too. Very cool homies. The next one is Korean homies. To me, I'm from Sacramento, and there's not too many Korean up north. And there was one Korean homie I met from Orange County, originally actually from Garden Grove, and that was a cool ass Korean homie. And this homie, one of the things that made me and we got along is that he rapped, and I rap too. Because one of my homie told me, my boy from Mitzvah told me like, hey, this Korean homie, I know this Korean one, man. He be rapping too. I said, yeah. I said, okay. So he told me, and one day I just talked to this Korean homie. He said, hey, how you be rapping? He said, yeah. So he bust a flow for me, and I bust a flow for him. And that's how we just went from there. And we started getting to know each other. And there was one time, we actually wrote a song together. We wrote a song to Dr. Dre, to Dr. Dre's song, I Forgot About Dre. We wrote to that beat. And we called it Unstoppable. Man, I still remember that. I still remember we wrote that shit. That was a good time right there. I wrote my shit, then he wrote his shit, then we just like flow through the beat. You know, after we flow through the beat, then we told some of the homies, and the homie come in, and they would listen to us just rap to the beat. That was a good time with that Korean homie, the Korean homie from Garden Grove or in Orange County. So, oh yeah, this is another Korean homie that I'm also that was that I met that I was still up with. He was actually from LA. And I mean, when I became a study, this when I went to Arizona to Mississippi. So when I just got in Mississippi, I think he was my first study, and he had we went to the cell. So you used to see because a lot of homies always have the shirt off. He had a shirt off, and he had MB tatted on him. He had M and B. I'm like, hold on, I know this not a Hmong homie. This is a Korean homie. And I asked him, hey, what MB stand for? He said, oh man, that's Mental Boys. I'm like, Mental Boys? I'm like, oh shit, Mental Boys? So I was like, damn, I said, that's funny because I say there's some Hmong gang up north that also go by MB. MB, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, if my homies see that, they would think you were Hmong. He said, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So that was pretty funny. And I actually went out. When I came home, I actually told some of my homies like, "Hey, if you guys ever go down south and you meet some of the Asian, you meet some of the Asian and they got NB tatted in, they're not Hmong, dude. You know what I mean? They're not Hmong. So y'all don't trip on that. They're not Hmong. You know what I mean? They're Korean. So that's a learning experience for me. And notice in that way, there won't be no like miscommunication. You know what I mean? There won't be no miscommunication. So I'm really glad I met that homies, and he was a pretty cool homies too. You know what I mean? So the Korean, like I said, the Korean homies, not a lot of them, but they there, and they be with the business too. The next one is the Mien homies. So Mien homies, how does I say? The best I can explain like this. There's not a lot of them, but there's more Mien homies in prison than Chinese. If that makes sense to y'all. It's not like Mien homies, but there's still more Mien homies than Chinese homies. And the Mien homies are cool. I met a lot of Mien homies out in the Bay, specifically Richmond. I met a lot of Mien homies out in Richmond. And they were some really cool. And I got along with a lot of them. I kept a contact with a lot of Mien homies from Richmond. To this day, I still talk to them. I get hung out with them. These motherfuckers got me hella drunk when I went out to see them in Richmond. You know, when I went hang out with the Mien homies in Richmond that I did time with, these homies, when they drank, they didn't use no chaser. So I'm like, what the fuck? And where's the chaser at? They're like, no, we don't use chaser here. I'm like, what? And it wasn't just them, even the females wasn't using no chaser. I'm like, man, y'all serious? Like, shit. I was like, all right, boom. But sometimes I'm like, hey, let me use some chaser. They give it to me, and sometimes I drink with no chaser. But I'm like, y'all motherfucker too gangster for me. You know what I mean? But I still go out and hang out with them every now and then. But there was some cool ass Mien homies right there, you know what I mean? Cool ass Mien homies, and I met other Mien homies too. But the Mien homies that I really got close to was the Mien homies out in the Bay. So shout out to Mien homies out in Richmond. They know who they are, and I mean, like I said, I still fuck with them to this day. The next homies, the next race is the Lahu. A lot of you may not know what Lahu is. So Lahu is also Asian, and just like the Hmong and Mien, they don't have a country, and there's even less of them. And they don't have too many last names. And because one of my celly, he was Lahu, and out in Fisela, I don't know if I pronounce it right. Out of Fisela, close to Fresno, and he was Lahu. And he taught me a few things about his people. And I mean, like I say, they don't have too many last names. I think they only have like 5 or 6 last names. And they also don't have a country, but they own their own race. They have their own language and all that stuff. So you will meet some you will meet a little bit of Lahu homies. And I mean, I met a lot of them from, like I say, for that town close to Fresno. There's some out in there's some Merced, Lahu homies out in Merced too. So they cool homies. I mean, all the Lahu I came across, they was good. So the next race is the Hmong, which is what I am. I met a lot of Hmong from Fresno, Stockton, Sacramento, Merced. There's actually some Hmong homies out in San Diego, Long Beach. I never met them, but I know other homies did, and they told me about them. And I was very surprised to learn. First, I was surprised to learn there's actually Hmong people out there. And second, I was surprised to learn that they actually have Hmong New Year out there. Even though there was a smaller community, they still have their own Hmong New Year. And there was a Cambodian homie that stayed out in Long Beach, and he told me that they have this place they call it Hmong Town. And I said, Hmong Town? So what do you guys call it Hmong Town? He said, man, because that place have hella Hmong people. I said, hella Hmong people live there, so we just call it Hmong Town. So I never imagined there would be such thing as a Hmong Town out at Long Beach. You know, and I also learned that a lot of Hmong out of Long Beach and San Diego, they join other Asian gangs. Because I'm not sure if there's a Hmong gang out there. So a lot of times they just join other Asian gang, which is all good. There's actually a lot of Hmong homies in prison. I mean, a lot of Hmong in prison, and like it depends which prison you go to. You know, I know that Old Folsom and Susanville, there's a lot of Hmong homies. Well, at least when I was there, I don't know about now. But they all, man, they pretty, man, they ended, man. I don't know, man. Is like, I want to say West, I want to say this as much as us in Cambodian and Vietnamese, but there's still a lot of Hmong people in there. So there was one Hmong homie. There was a Hmong homie that I met from Fresno. He's actually from the opposite gang, man. He was a lifer. He's out now, but he was a lifer. And there was one time it was night guard, and we were in the Hmong car. We were just chilling at the shower, and we were just talking. And I don't know how this came about. And he just say like I said, that Hmong homie from Fresno just say like, hey, out of everybody here, the only person I would like to date my sister is, and he pointed at me. And I was like, what? Why is that? Why is that? They wasn't mad, but they were just asking. And I was very, very surprised. So when we went back to the tables out in the yard, and I was talking to him one-on-one, I asked him like, hey, why did you say that? Now, why did you say that at the shower? And he said, because I blocked up with you for 2 years. And I see how you are. I see how you carry yourself. And you a good dude. You a good homie. And I was very surprised. I ain't gonna lie, I was very, very surprised. Just based on the fact that he was from the opposite gang. You know me, so I would never expect to hear that from the opposite gang. And but he really made him looking differently. You know, I mean, he actually made him look. I see him more as a. He made me see him more as a friend. And like I say, we got closer and continue to talk and hang out. And we're actually able to have each other stay in contact when I came home. And we talked a few times on the phone and just asking each other like, man, what it's like, man. How does it feel to be free? And just share our experience, how it feels good to be out here and how it feels good to be free. And man, I even asked him too, like, "Hey, you remember that one time when we was at the shower and you told everyone that you would let me date your sister?" He said, "Yeah, what about it?" So and I was just joking with the homie. I say, "So what? So is your sister free? Is your sister single?" And he said, "Man, they all married now." I said, "They all married now." I'm like, "Man, like what the hell?" Like you told me explain my feelings, but I was even gonna date his sister too. Even though they were single, I would never take it that far. You know what I mean? Because I don't even date my own homie sister. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, we talked a few times on the phone, and I haven't talked to him for a long, long time. You know what I mean? I don't know how much he did. I know he did more than 10 years. So I know he did more than me, and I'm glad that cause he was a lifer and he got lucky. He was a kid too, so I'm glad that he came out. You know, man. You know me, and I'm hoping that he's still out and he's doing good. You know, man, because this is one homie that was from the opposite gang that I really saw as my friend. Yeah, there was another my homie that I got close to, and he was also from Fresno, and I think he's still doing time, and he's a lifer, and he been locked up since 90, I think 92, 93, and out of like I say, he was from Fresno, also from the opposite gang, and this homie right here, he's an older cat. I think he's in the 40s now, and I got so much love for this homie right here because he taught me how to read, write, and Hmong. I mean, he taught me how to read and write at Mom because every time I came back from school, because he used to work in the yard, every time I came back from school, and he would teach me on the yard and while we sit at the table how to, he teach me the Mom ABC, how to pronounce these words and how to pronounce this letter and that letter. He put these two letters, this is how you pronounce them, and he would just teach me the Mom ABC, then teach me how to to read a Mom, how to write a Mom, and I never got all the way down, but I did learn a lot from it. And I wish when I came home I stopped using it, so I forgot a lot of it, but I still know how to read a little bit of Hmong. But when I was in there, I knew how to read more of it. You know, man, there was actually man, it was a great experience. And I would like I said, I always got love for that homie for teaching me that because he didn't have to do that. You know me, and that also made me closer to my dad. Because when I told my dad like, hey, I know how to read Hmong now. So, because I know how to read Hmong better than I know how to write Hmong. So when I told my dad was really happy, and he want me a two-letter Hmong, and I would read it. I'm like, oh shit, I actually like understood this shit. I actually understand what my dad talking about. So he really helped me out with that. And one thing I can say about this Hmong homie, that's doing that's in Fresno, that's from the opposite gang. I can say about this homie that this homie didn't set trip. You know me, I never once felt like he set trip. I never see set trip with nobody. This was a good ass homie. You know, man, like that. He like I say, he be locked us in 92, 93, and he's a lifer. And I mean, I even hit up one of the men homie that's locked up with him right now in San Quentin. And I asked him like, hey, ask the homie, ask the mom homie out of Fresno, do he need anything? And I mean, and he hit the homie up, and he came back, and the man homie told me like, hey, he said he's good. And I mean, he said he's good. He said he just keep doing your thing. I mean, at the time I was doing music. He said just keep doing thing, keep doing music. Man, he be listening to music and he like it. You know what I mean? But that homies, I will always remember that homie. You know what I mean? And I will always be grateful for what he taught me. Because that really, like I said, that really made me closer to my dad before my dad passed away. So, yeah, like I say, man, it's a trip in there. It really is. And I mean, I'll get more into it in different videos too. So the next homie is the Simone homie, the Uso homie, the Us. People who don't know that in there because of Simone homie Uso, and Uso me a friend. He me a friend or brother. And every time we see that, like I said, every time we see Simone, be like, "What's up, Us? What's up, Uso?" And we all know there's some big motherfucker, you know what I mean? And sometimes you meet some Simone homies that's small. Even them with the small homies small, they still kind of big. So they they eat a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie. These Hmong homies, these Uso homies, they eat a lot. Cause I have a sibling, he was Uso, so I know they eat a lot. But they cool ass homie though, you know me. And once the thing was funny, these Hmong homies that's funny about the Samoan and the Tonga homies that when I shake hand with them on the yard, they be squeezing my hand, cause I got a small hand, you know me. And they didn't mean to squeeze my hand. They didn't mean to squeeze my hand. That just like. They be just squeeze the hand. It just happened like that. But it was all good. I just thought it was funny. You know, I never felt disrespected. It was just funny. I'm like, God damn, bro. But there's a good homie right there. You know me? So, and that's one thing too. Like they like the Tongan homie. And people who don't, if people don't know the difference between Samoan and Tongan homie, this is how you tell the difference. The Tongan homie, they are darker skin. Even the hair is darker too. And they don't like to be called Samoan or Uso. They don't like be calling that, you know, because they are their own race, they are their own culture. So, and they're also for the same car with the Samoan, they're islanders, you know what I mean? But those homies are, those homies are cool, you know what I mean? And they, I don't know, man. All I can think about how much they eat. They can eat, man. They can eat, you know what I mean? So, like I say, they cool, homie. And the thing about it is that, because I never really knew Samoan Tonga homie before prison. So when I got locked up and I talked to a lot of them and I get to see how they really are as a person, I got hit of loving them now. So when I came out back in Sacramento, when I was seeing some Wusa homie, but I know that they don't know me and I don't know them too. But sometimes I'm like, hey, what's up, homie? Hey, what's up, Uso? But I know I can't do that because we're not in prison no more. But a lot of times we want to do that. A lot of times when I see the Uso homie or Tonga homie, out in the street, I be like, want to say what's up and shake the hand. But I know because we're not in prison no more, and I don't know if they've been in prison before too, that they might feel awkward. They might be feel like, you know me, they might feel like, I don't know, like some kind of strange way toward me. But like I say, man, like, but that's how it was for me. Cause I be looking for so long. And every time I see like a different Asian or Samoan Tongan, I be seeing them as my homies. But because I'm not locked, but because we're not in prison, it doesn't work like that anymore, which is sometimes kind of sucks. Everybody out there, just stay safe. You know me? Stay safe, stay out of trouble, stay out of the way, and stay out of prison. Peace, y'all.